All right, so I know that OneNote is an application that many of you are probably unfamiliar with. I'm looking for a way for us to collaborate, communicate, share what we are doing in the action of our grant proposals in a way that is easy for a, a person who's not actively engaged in your project to be able to see what you're doing. So, Microsoft Teams is our board's communication tool. So we are using Microsoft Teams. I'm going to go into the chiclet here to access our site. I asked you in June to take some time to introduce yourself and your school and your team and to give us an idea of what your grant proposal is all about. In many cases, you just copied and pasted your proposal from your proposal that you sent into the school board. Now, up here in the menu bar, you'll see that there are a number of options. And one of them is called the Grade 3 2023 SciTech Grant Action. If you click on this, it's going to open up a OneNote file. So I use OneNote on a regular basis. It's an excellent tool for collecting information about anything, regardless if it's students or if it's your own personal inventory or if it's school team meetings, whatnot. So I'm going to use the Microsoft OneNote, which is included in the Microsoft family of suite of programs. And if you're familiar with it, then you could skip the rest of this video. If you're unfamiliar with it, that's why I'm making this video for you. So when you click on this Grade 3 2023 SciTech Grant Proposal, it's going to open up a OneNote. And over here on the left-hand side, well, on this side here, you have a relatively large waste of space. It should be much smaller. But when you're using the web browser version, it doesn't give you a lot of customization. If you use the desktop application, which I use, but I don't have it currently showing on the screen, then you get much more customization. So right here on the left-hand side of the active window, you'll see a little book with a book on an angle. You click on this, it'll open up a larger menu tree. And in here, you'll see that I have several menus. One is the schools, and under schools is a sub-menu. You'll see the schools that have been granted, the elementary schools that have been granted the $1,000 to $4,000 SciTech grant will be listed here. So just scroll down until you find your school name. So currently I'm on Aloha. All right, I can scroll down to Tony Pontes at the bottom here. You select your school. And then what it will do is it will take a moment to load depending on the speed of your internet. The first time it's downloading it from the cloud down to your computer system. And once it's loaded, then you'll have access to the shared file. So on here, you type in the team's names of the teachers who are part of your team. I should have removed this. I will do so. The title, most of you didn't actually give your proposal a title, so a title would be appropriate. And then I copied and pasted whatever you posted in the Microsoft Teams discussion area or in your proposal. I posted it here. So what do we want our students to learn? What do we want our students to do? What do we want our students to, how do we want them to be engaged? That's this section here. And then we are going to use this area as our collaborative environment. So I'm going to have several check-in dates. The first check-in date is actually in 2 or 3 weeks. I'm looking to see how you have been able to get started in this beginning of the school year with your project. You're not looking for a large production. We're just looking for answers to give us an idea of where you are. And it's possible that you might have some struggles, some obstacles. There might be some things that have been very successful in the startup. Just share those with us. And as other schools and other teachers are looking to see what they can do, they can kind of scan through what you've done. And if you run into similar struggles and you have a solution and you post it, then that's the building of a community. So September prompts, you'll see a place for you to write your response. December, March, I've not created the prompts yet, but I've given you those dates so you know that these are our check-in dates. And I plan to bring this all together in some form, whether or not it's an in-school, whether or not it's an after-school, but some kind of session in May for us to share our successes and celebrate what we've done with our students with this funding. All right, so that's what this section is here. You can feel free to write that in. And the rest of this information down here is something we'll follow up with later. You'll see what does our common assessment data tell us, and you'll see a thing that says check section for suggestions. That section is over here. If you click on the book library button again, and you select on check, then it will, as a first time click, it's going to take some time to download it. Once you've downloaded it once onto your computer, it won't take as much time to access that button. But in here, you'll see the analyzing student work. You'll see some other options, and they give you some tips on how to record or screenshot or screen clip or whatever and insert it into the OneNote if you'd like to use this tool. And then on the bottom here, you'll see a resource button. It says something on the left that was embedded with the program that gives you an idea of how OneNote could be used in education. I'm not really making any reference to it myself, but for those of you, if you like playing with this kind of stuff, then you can find out more information and more resources on that tab there. So I'd ask that you go to your school, you click on your school, you complete the information. You'll notice that there's still two buttons here. Some of you did not post your intro onto Teams, so we don't know who you are, so if you could do so, please. And my school visit, so I'm visiting each of the schools that was granted a funds for this proposal, and we're going to have a conversation and see if there's any insight I can offer, or at least have a person that you share with, and then I can share what's happening with the system, with other schools in the system, because I've had the conversation with you. So I will check those as I have come to visit you. I'm going to be very much looking forward to seeing what we all do as a system. Each school is doing something different and unique, and when we have an opportunity to share all that in May, I think it'll be really quite a remarkable learning experience. In that sharing in May, you'll be invited to either bring yourself or to bring the students. We'll see what that looks like. I hope that I can have a conversation with you and you can let me know how you would like to see that conference proceed in May. All right? Hopefully that is enough help for you to access and navigate through the Microsoft OneNote that's embedded here inside the Microsoft Teams.